Now, before we can know if this sequence will work for us, we need to know what kind of files we have. So let's go ahead and import a file so that we can check these settings. For that, I'm going to go ahead and navigate to the Media Browser panel, which is this one right here. And I'm going to choose the desktop. Now that I am in the Project Files folder, I'm going to navigate to the Media folder, and I'll double-click on the P2 Media folder, and I'm just going to choose this clip right here named Boy on Beach. To import it into Premiere, I'm just going to drag it from the Media Browser to the Project panel. And this imports it. Once in the project panel, you can select it by clicking on it once, and you will see information regarding the clip right up here. In here, we can see that it is indeed a movie. You can see the frame size, 1440 by 1080. We can see the pixel aspect ratio, which is 1.333. We can see the length of the video and the frame rate, which in this case is NTSC 29.97 frames per second. Finally, at the bottom here, we can see audio information, which includes sampling rate, bit depth, and mono, stereo, or 5.1 audio channels. This information in here is enough for me to find the sequence setting that is appropriate for me to use. So let's go ahead and create a new sequence. There are several ways to create a new sequence. I can go File, New, Sequence. I can also use the shortcut, which is Control-N on Windows systems, Command-N on Mac, and I can also click on this new item icon at the bottom of the project panel, and I can choose Sequence. Either way is fine. I'm just going to go ahead and click on Sequence here. And let's talk a little bit more in depth about this panel. First, let's notice that there are 3 tabs in here: the Sequence Presets, General, and Tracks. The Sequence Presets are exactly that. They are preset settings that we can use when we know what type of footage we have. I am pretty sure that you will find in here a preset that matches your footage. But there are many presets in here, so you may have to start clicking around if you're not sure. In our case, we're going to go to the AVC Intra folder, 1080i folder, and the preset that we want is the AVC I50 1080i 60. So this one. If you look closely at the settings, you're going to see that these video, audio, and everything settings match exactly what my footage parameters are. So it might take you a little bit to find yours, especially if you're not sure, but be patient. You will eventually find the preset that works for you. There are, however, instances in which you need to use very specialized settings. Maybe you're using a screen capture from a computer, or maybe from scientific instruments that save in an unconventional format. If, for whatever reason, you do not find a preset that suits you, then you need to go to the next tab, the General tab. In here, the first selection refers to the editing mode, which is this drop-down menu right here. You can change the editing mode to any of these codecs. Chances are, however, that if you did not find a preset that suits you, it's because you are editing unconventional footage. So for this, go ahead and choose Desktop. Now you can further modify the remainder of the choices. If you choose one of the other editing modes, then you are a lot more limited in your available choices. For example, if I choose any of these, notice that I can no longer change the frame size, The pixel aspect ratio becomes fixed. So for our purposes now, let's go ahead and leave it at desktop. All of these settings become now available for us to change. To know which settings you are going to need, you will need to import the footage, select it in the project panel, and see its settings, just like what we did before. Choose those same settings in here and you should be all set. Notice here at the bottom where there is a setting for video preview. This is the file format that Premiere Pro will use to create any preview files it may need to create to display your video. Once you're happy with your chosen settings, you can create a new preset by clicking on this button. The next tab is the Tracks tab. In here, you will be able to indicate to Premiere Pro how many video and audio tracks you want for the sequence to have and what kind of audio you would like to master to. The audio master setting does not need to match the source. You could shoot in stereo but master to surround 5.1. So this refers to the mastering of the audio. You can see the choices in here, mono, stereo, etc., etc. For right now, let's go ahead and leave it at stereo. Now, for the purposes of this lesson, I'm going to go ahead and click on the Presets tab, and I'm going to choose the one that I had before, which is the one that matches my footage. To use it, all I need to do is double-click it, and there you go. Now I have a second sequence in here. I'm going to go ahead and rename this one. For that, I'm going to click on the sequence name, and as you can see, it becomes highlighted, and now I can write any name I wish. I'm just going to type the name new. I have now two sequences in here. I have sequence 1, and I have, of course, new. I'm going to go ahead and click on the icon for sequence 1, and then I'm going to click on this trash can because I need to delete it. After all, the settings of this sequence did not match my clip. So I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of it. Now I have the new sequence and the boy on beach clip. Creating a new sequence is a very important but common thing to do. All you really need to keep in mind is that if you do not know which settings to use, all you need to do is import the footage and select it so you can see the settings. Then go to the New Sequence panel and choose the same settings in here. Chances are that you're going to find a preset that will match your clip settings perfectly well.